So it looks like the Clippers are still on a quest for more front court depth on their roster in regards to, having a backup to Ivica Zubac. And before we get into that, though, shout out to everybody, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, enjoy your time, enjoy everything, enjoy the day, and enjoy, everything, the festivities that come with it. But let's get back to business. So, I've said, in the offseason, I think one of the weakest spots I think that the Clippers had was their front court, which is the big man position. And we all know nowadays it's all about playing the small ball and everything like that. But as I always say, playing small ball and having the ability to play small ball is a good thing, but it's also good to have the ability to switch it up if you need to. Now, of course, when you go into a 7-game series in the playoffs, the game slows down, the momentum and everything, it just how the game played itself just slows down the playoffs, because it's more of a half court basketball, system that a lot of teams play, because you're playing this team 4 out of 7 times. And you really have to figure out a way to be the better team when this team could look at tape on you several times and they play you so many times, seem like within the first week or so, you feel like this team knows all your movements and everything you like to do, and vice versa. So the reason why I said, having that front court is for the Clippers is vitally important, because as I said, Zubac is good. Zubac is holding it down right now. He's playing very good on getting them rebounds and defense and commanding a presence in there. But they can use a little bit more depth. Now, me personally, from what I saw from Moses Brown a little bit the other night against the Warriors, or last night against the Warriors, and I saw him a little bit during the season too. I can see I need to see him get more minutes, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I really can't put too much emphasis on what I see from Moses Brown, because I don't see him play as much as I would like him to. And Diabate, I'm not seeing him play really hardly at all too much, in which I'm really kind of upset about that, because I had a lot of high hopes for him. And looking at his gameplay and his energy, he is Isaiah Hartenstein 2.0, but he's an Isaiah Hartenstein times 2, because he's more athletic, he's more energetic to me, and he plays with more of an edge to me that I really like. And I feel like the Clippers need that guy that come out there and play with that edge, along with Kawhi Leonard and PG and the rest of them. But I feel like they need that extra guy that comes out there and give them that extra energy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Diabate would be that type of guy that would give them that. They just need to give him the opportunity to show them that he can, do that for them. So, right now, as I said, I know they're still looking for more front court depth, but one name that actually came up here, there was Jacob Poeltl. He plays for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, to me, there again, he's one of those type players I think that can suit well for the Clippers. Now, I know, of course, you heard me say about Miles Turner, and you probably read yourself about Miles Turner being a potential, somebody that the Clippers would pick up or possibly looking into. But if they don't find a way to get Miles Turner, then that's fine. I would go after Jacob Poeltl on the San Antonio Spurs, because there again, Kawhi Leonard would approve of him times 10, probably even more than Miles Turner, because Miles Turner comes from Indiana, a place where it's nothing but losers. You see what I'm saying? No disrespect to them, but the Indiana Pacers just not a winning team. But at the same time, Jacob comes from the San Antonio Spurs, and we know that's where Kawhi Leonard was born, in San Antonio. Basically, in his NBA career, he was born on San Antonio Spurs. That's when we first heard of Kawhi, and that's when he really started to take over the league at that time. When he really showed everybody how defense can really change the outcome of everything, and showed everybody how dominant he was defensively. He was with the San Antonio Spurs. And anybody that comes from Greg Popovich, I would take him, because honestly, Poeltl may not have a championship under his belt, but he has championship type of IQ, championship type DNA, intangibles. And because that's what Greg Popovich teach all his players. He teaches them to play the right way. He teaches them how to play on another level when, based upon the competition they're playing. And he teaches them how to play one way all the time. Play hard, work your ass off, but at the same time, understand what I'm teaching you every single game, because I need you to add on to what you're being taught to. Retain information, but also build on top of it because I'm going to need you at certain points at certain times, and I'm going to trust you to deliver that at that time when I need it. And that's the way he's always coached. He's always coached where he held his players accountable for being the best they can be at the moments where it really mattered the most. And the way he structures his offense, the way they play systematic basketball, pass first, find the high percentage shot over the most flashy looking shot is, that's the way Greg Popovich coach. Find the high percentage shot and do your best to play at the highest level possible and make less mistakes as possible when you're in the game. And that's the way he coaches. And that's, anybody who's ever played under Greg Popovich knows. You can see anybody that ever played under him, you can see their basketball IQ is on another level compared to a lot of other NBA players in the league. So, having somebody like Jacob on the Clippers, and if he was a backup to Zubac, that would be perfect because there again, he's bringing that basketball IQ. Kawhi Leonard said 4 years ago, we need more high basketball IQ players. You see what I'm saying? We need that. We need high basketball IQ, people on the team. And that's exactly, he's right, because that's the only way you win championships. You can have guys who are talented, but guys who have a high basketball IQ is more valuable because they make the right decisions at times when their back is against the wall. They don't make the wrong decisions. That extra pass sometimes can lead to a high efficient shot rather than a guy thinking he's on fire and thinking he got the shot. He's just taking it over two people, and that's not championship basketball. That's losing basketball when it comes to winning championships. And see, this is what I'm saying. When you have somebody from that Popovich, type of era or that Popovich type of basketball camp, then you're definitely looking more towards success than unsuccessful. You see what I'm saying? So I think that if the Clippers found a way to get Jacob, it would be good. This year right now he's averaging like 10 and like 13 a game, I think. So wow, that would be perfect for the Clippers. He can give you a double every night. Hell, honestly, he's averaging a little bit better numbers, or just about better numbers than Zubac is. So if he's a backup to Zubac, there's some things that he knows about the game that Zubac might not know that he can show Zubac and make him a better player, and vice versa. And like I said, he will be coming into a good environment with the Clippers and everything, and he's also coming into a good environment where the Clippers superstar is a product of the Spurs. So there would be a lot of relation between him and Kawhi because they would talk about a lot of things, about Spurs way and stuff like that, and they would implement a lot of those ways within this organization that could make the Clippers a whole lot better as a team, because you got a big man that plays basketball the right way. Jacob will be a professional, come in, do what he's got to do, but he'll also get on the grind in that paint, and he'll make it difficult for anybody that comes in the paint. He'll make it difficult in regards to, getting extra rebounds. He's a pretty good offensive rebounder too. I think a lot of people sleep on that about him, or I don't think a lot of people know about Jacob like that, but still, he's a pretty good offensive rebounder as well. So, that's an extra incentive that he would bring to the Clippers. So honestly, if you ask me, I would probably more or less look after going after a guy like him rather than Miles Turner, because Miles Turner, you might have to give up too much to get Miles Turner. The Pacers might want two players, which that's what the report said. I think it said, Marcus Morris and I think Norman Powell. No, that's a no. No, we're not giving up two of those type players for Miles Turner, who is a good big man, but at the same time, the way Zubac is playing, you don't really need a big man, like Miles Turner to the extent of him. Miles Turner can give you 20 and like 12 a game. That'd be great to have, but you don't really need that the way Zubac is playing. You just need a pretty good backup to Zubac. That's if they don't decide to use Moses Brown or whoever's on the bench. You just need a pretty good backup to Zubac to give the team a little bit more balance. You don't really need a 20 and 13 guy like Miles Turner, and you got to give up some of your depth that really can hurt your chance of winning a championship, because as I said, Norman Powell, he can get a bucket anytime. This dude can drop 20, 30 points a game easily. If he was in the starting lineup, he can easily do that because he's just a natural born scorer. So it's like, if you give up somebody like that that's on your bench, that's going to take a whole lot from the Clippers, because that's taking a whole lot of depth from them in regards to scoring that they can use coming off the bench that gives them a combination of scoring that other teams might not have. And you would probably have to give up somebody like that for Miles Turner, along with Marcus Morris, who can still play defense pretty good. And lately, like I said, he's been playing pretty good offensively, knocking down his shots, getting into the 17-foot range, doing the turnaround fadeaway, not settling for too many threes. He's been doing pretty decent this season for the most part. We have to see how it goes, continuously during the season, but still, he's been doing pretty decent. So right now, I would say what you have there, I would keep that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade that for Miles Turner. He might not even really make a huge difference for the team. I would get somebody like Jacob from the Spurs, who you don't have to give up that much for, and who can still come in there and contribute at a pretty high level. Because like I said, when we talk about basketball IQ, between Miles Turner and Jacob Poeltl, who has more basketball IQ? If you think about it, it would be Jacob, because like I said, he's playing under Greg Popovich, and on Miles Turner, he's playing under, I think, I forgot the old coach for the Dallas Mavericks, but Rick Carlisle, I believe, and that's not, Rick Carlisle is a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but he's not Greg Popovich. No way. Any coach on the Indiana coaching staff is not Greg Popovich by a mile. So as I said, I would go with more of a high basketball IQ player like that, who can give you more insight, give Zubac more insight on how to play and see the game from different angles, and they can really feed off each other and benefit off each other, very well also. So, I mean, that would be more of a perfect fit if you ask me, because like I said, it wouldn't be nobody stepping on nobody's toes, because there again, if they did get, Miles Turner, he would be basically stepping on Zubac's toes, and it might be a little bit of rift in the locker room there, because Zubac got that $33 million contract, and he would want to be playing more the way he is now, but he would play a lot less probably if Miles Turner was there. Miles Turner would end up being the starter, and it might just cause little rifts, and you don't want that when you're on the quest for a championship. So if I were the Clippers, I would think about that, but I also would kind of, put that into action pretty soon, because if they're not going to use Moses Brown and them that much, which I don't see why they don't, but if they're not going to use them that much, then go after somebody who would more or less fit the locker room and be a good locker room presence, and who has high basketball IQ knowledge, because if you're trying to win a championship, high basketball IQ is where it's at, not just talent. So the Clippers got enough talent. So I would go after somebody with more of a high basketball IQ, who can add to the team, who's going to be a good locker room guy. And, he'll be very, very well respected by Kawhi Leonard. And like I said, they'll be able to build on top of that as a team and go from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. Also, please like, subscribe if you haven't as well. And hey, Khaliis.